I'd like to do a little demonstration of how to use Logic Match EQ, and in this example I'll use Logic's own Steinway grand piano for I'll play a short example, and then I will take a recording that was recorded on an actual Steinway, and we'll see how it affects this recording, the MIDI recording of me playing the software instrument. So the first thing I did was I selected this. The way I did that, I went to a new track, software instrument, created, and then from here I chose the piano, but you can already see I have a track there. So the next thing I will do is I'm just going to improvise something in F sharp minor because the recording that I'm going to match it to was in that key, and sometimes I think that the key might be significant for the types of frequencies that it morphs to, although it's not essential, but I will improvise in F sharp minor. Actually, I have to say in my headphones, that was sounding, the sound of the included Steinway is really not bad on its own. So I suppose it has to do with the way they EQ'd it and compressed it, and the effects that were given as a default. But what I will do is exactly as it is, even keeping its own EQ. Note that I might get a different kind of result if I just turn this off before I do the next step, but I'll just keep it exactly as it is. And then the next thing that I do is on the bottom of the effects, I add EQ, match EQ, stereo. And so the first step is to learn the EQ curve of this. So all you do is you click on this left current one and you play it all the way through, which I'm going to do on this video. Okay, so you can see it sort of froze these like icicles, like reverse icicles as it played. And so when you turn this red button off, that's still there. And so you turn that off and then you turn the middle one on. And you click inside this main space of the middle one and turn it on with this button. And instead of playing through a whole track of the reference, I don't even need to do that. I just go to my Finder where the track is, and this is an artist named Clara Min. And so I go to the track on my Finder, and I got this at iTunes. I bought it, and I'm just going to drag it right into this. And right away, it makes its own curve. So you can see there's the one. Now I can turn this off actually. So you can see there's the one that started as that, and now there's this one that was the reference. Both of these are now off, but this really only relates to the relationship between that reference and this particular track. So then already you get this last section called match, and when you now that you've already got the reference and what your source was of you playing or your own mix of music, now you just click match, and it's giving you some kind of like difference between the two that makes the original one sound a little more like this one, the reference that I just brought in. I apologize that I'm not going to play through the reference, but I mean, I might not even have the license to play that on my video, so this is really to show the example of getting the audio qualities. So the first thing I could do is, you know, kind of play through this and turn this off and on. So let's just see what happens as it is. Actually, I'm going to turn it off first. And then on. Okay, so you know, another interesting thing about it is you might you might still like your original source better, but it's still very interesting to play around with. So the next things that you can do that are very interesting is you can change this channel link and also the smoothing. And the smoothing is about like how you can just see directly what it does. If I turn it this way, it looks more like that. If I go this way, it's more defined, like more frequencies affected. So I'm gonna, for now, I'll keep it back to around here to start. The other thing is over here you can change the amount of it, and then here is very interesting that you can change this channel link, which means that you'll get sort of I think it's dealing more with letting the stereo amount being affected. I don't have a good description for this, so I apologize for that, but you'll see the difference, or I mean you'll hear the difference when I use it. So let's just, and people are welcome to comment on this video to explain to me what that is if you want to. Okay, so like I play it, and oh yeah, and I'm going to play around with this amount where it applied 100% of the match, and I'm going to play around in different ways. So start like this. You can see that when I brought it all the way down to 18% application of it, just even looking at sort of this view of the amount of it difference, you can see that we should hear a more subtle change. Actually, I should have had this on, but now we can listen to it without. And then with. So I personally like these very subtle amounts usually. To me, it usually is it's like a nicer sound, but you just have to play with it to what you like. Some people might even want to go very extreme and do this kind of thing. But as you can hear, it's that sort of blew up all the resonant, like it made the resonances too harsh. So, you know, I love it right around there. And then I'm going to change this part about the channel link. I think, you know, it's the left-right channel link. So let's see what happens as I adjust that. So to me, I mean, in my headphones, I just felt like it got like a nicer stereo image as I brought this to the more to the center. And then remember about this part, the smoothing. So let's take a look at that. So that's the main way to use the match EQ. Say for example that you played, um, you sustained holding some um, like pad sounds from synthesizers, chords where it's just sustained, or even strings. Say that you were playing with like string sounds that were very lush and ambient, and there was something else that's combined with that, or other instruments combined with that. You might try running the current on just the pads, and then take, for the reference, mute the pads and learn all the other instruments the way you have them mixed. And then on the match, you could take your pad sound and you could actually put it kind of, how this is going like that, you could kind of put it in reverse a little bit. And then it would kind of be notching out, um, almost like everywhere that's in the opposite direction of what the other part is. So it's just an interesting effect. I've actually done that before, and it can get a very interesting effect if you're on your mix. So I recommend trying something like that at some point. But I really liked it right around there. Could have been, more extreme like that. So let's listen to that section with and without this match EQ. I'm going to do first without. And then I'll do it with. So that's how you use match EQ.